A lot of men have opted out of that whole system and worldview because there is less to gain and more to lose for them. Looking at divorces and the laws around them, the cost-benefit ratio does not seem to add up. To many men, modern women have become a disappointment. Modern men were told from a young age to see women as their equals. They were told to accept them with the same rights and the same duties, and to treat them equally. According to the enlightened emancipatory movements of the 20th century, they had reason to believe and subscribe to an ideal. If they would treat women as equal and not behave like chauvinistic machos, as a reward they would find true love, a strong, independent partner they could love as an equal and who would love them as an equal. They would negotiate the currents of life together, act like grown-ups, have a family, discuss and solve problems as adults, be reasonable and understanding partners to each other, and stick together no matter what. Then they grew up, went out with a girl for the first time, and often had a rude awakening. Everything was different than what they'd expected. They were called sexist and chauvinist for no more than being male, subjected to collective punishment when one guy did something shitty. They were ridiculed or vilified for expressing their attraction to a woman in a clumsy way, being young and inexperienced. Opportunities for developing that skill are scarce nowadays. Asking a woman out is risky for you. If you are attractive enough, you are a Chad and get away with it. But if you are perceived as less attractive, for whatever reason, you are a creep if you express interest. Men in general nowadays being accused of being either rapists or at least sympathizing with rapists. In fact, in a lot of public spaces, you are expected to all but apologize for your toxic masculinity even when you never did anything wrong. When men turn on the TV, they see themselves depicted either as evil or as bumbling fools, or ridiculed as the man-child with an unfortunate passion for silly things like science, computers, or other nerdy things. Unless, of course, he gets wildly successful with it and becomes a Bill or a Steve or an Eel, and then suddenly people stop laughing. Women, on the other hand, are generally depicted as strong, independent, and smart, and as having healthy preoccupations like reading Cosmopolitan, watching The Bachelor, or keeping 5 cats and promoting animal rights. Old-style male role models are vilified or ridiculed. There are no new Disney movies with unflawed male heroes. Only girls like Mona can be perfect. Don't get me wrong, I like those movies, but role models for young boys are getting scarce. Massive attempts are being made to deface still existing male role models. Nevertheless, 3 out of 4 suicide victims are male. 9 out of 10 homeless people are male. Men still do the overwhelming majority of the really dangerous jobs in mining, firefighting, special forces, logging, and policing. They are still the ones who die out at sea or fighting in wars, and when something goes wrong, it is still women and children first. Because they are seen as disposable, the public just has no sympathy for the male. And then, in a relationship, suddenly men are supposed to be somehow mysteriously manly, virile, and sexy again. Otherwise the girlfriend will go astray with Chad Thundercock, the bodybuilder stud from next door, because of his tattoos and bad boy image. Strangely and inexplicably, he seems to be more alluring than boring Mr. Nice Guy, who has put her on a pedestal, treats her equally, and works a 50-hour job to be able to support a family. After all of these experiences, they might also find themselves at the losing end of a divorce battle where laws are heavily favoring the mothers. They lost most of their money and now hardly ever see their children, and if it was not themselves, then they very likely witnessed a friend go through this. This is especially true for the USA, and looking at all the facts, men simply opt out. Men nowadays often see no chance for that bit of unconditional love they still crave, so they pull themselves together, stiffen their upper lip, and bury that need once and for all. They are capable of this because they are men after all. They would rather work hard for themselves, save their money, build a career alone, and enjoy early retirement. Then they can do as they please, or they stay in their parents' basement, work a McJob, and never even try. Why even struggle if the game is rigged? That's what it has come to, because passion is not negotiable. If you treat people like shit long enough, they will wise up. You can easily make somebody lose the passion for something, but you can never bring that back. Sad but true. A lot of men have felt for their whole life that women do not like them, despise them, are afraid of them, think badly of them, secretly envy them, and might just exploit them, and fully expect to get away with it. These men have simply stopped liking women because they can't find a justification for this anymore. They have lost their passion for women because women have become ugly to them. The idea of tying themselves to a woman for life has become bizarre, even monstrous. A bleak perspective for their future.